Sam. Hi, Clockwork. How are you? I don't know if I can stream as long as I wanted to because my brother brought a friend over, so I'm really nervous. I have to try to be even quieter. I don't think he'd be able to hear me, but we have really thin walls, so I'm just nervous. This won't be an issue when I live on my own. How do you like it? That's good. It's fine. Okay. It's no big deal. Maybe we'll play the games another day. I have to listen for my brother, because my brother's gonna sleep in the room closer to me so that I'm not sleeping right next to his friend. So I'm listening for when he comes through the door. So, I can't listen to the music today. Maybe, yeah. Oh, maybe we really will play the games tomorrow. I know that. Logically, I know that. It's just, I just get anxious about it. Strangers in the house. Anyway, it doesn't happen too often though, so yeah, it's one of the last times probably before I move out. We don't have company that often. I wonder if that's kind of my fault. I don't know. Okay, so maybe we won't play the games today. Maybe we'll do the reading today. I just had some short indie games, but that would be a really long... I planned on it being a longer stream, so... maybe that'll be for the next one, and by then he'll be gone, because he'll be over just this weekend, so today is Saturday morning. Yeah, he'll probably be gone Monday morning. Or he might be leaving in the morning. I'll ask my brother, and then either we'll stream Monday or Tuesday, so we don't stream twice like this. Oh yeah, I added the game that Clockwork, that you told me about, that Clockwork said in the beginning. I think that's RPG horror. Are there other ones you're thinking of? Yeah. Yeah, that good. Are there other ones you're thinking of, like, Mad Father and stuff? Oh, and, the game for, the game... one went on sale, which was, unpacking, so now I can definitely play that before I move out. Which will be in, like 3-4 months, we will play that. I played Angels of Death, I played Mad Father. I've heard a lot about IP, so... Should I be comforted? Should I be comforted by that? Let me see. Okay, let me go to... I think I added yours to a wish list, so... Well, I think it's actually better if there are 2 jump scares. I mean, not in terms of quality, but in terms of being less scared, because it releases the tension. That's why movies that don't have them end up being so much more difficult to go through, and so much more breath holding. So it would be good for quality, but probably be scarier. Where is it? Alright, let me make sure I added this to my wish list. I did. And then I think we'll add IP too. Library. Stores. Yeah, let me add IP. I don't know know if I should play the I don't know if I should play the ones I've already played. I've already played Godfather and Angels of Death. So maybe we should play new ones because it'll probably be easier to talk about new things, you know, especially since I don't have much lore info. Or do you like when people play stuff they already played? I'll go to... get closer. There's no way they're gonna hear me. People don't even hear me when I'm trying to make them hear me, so I think it's okay. Library. Okay, let me look up IP. Where's the feature? Okay, IP. This is reasonable. I have a little bit of money left over too from see from buying unboxing. Let's do this. Oh, the art looks cool. Do you have any others you want me to add while I'm here? Okay, it hasn't developed yet. It's still young for a damper, you know. I don't have the squeak. Okay. Well, which one did I play more recently? I played Mad Father when I was doing practice streams, so that was too recent, I think. But I think it's been a while since Angels of Death. Skyrim. Elder Scrolls. I think I actually did weirdly buy one of the Elder Scrolls games. I did buy one for some reason. Even though I don't know if my computer could run this, but let me look. I think I only bought the third one. This is different. Yeah, but it just reminded me. I think I only bought the third Elder Scrolls. Yeah, must have been when it was on sale. Is Clockwork aged good? Also, it probably wouldn't be good to just start on the third game, right? I don't know why I purchased that. It must have been on a really, really good sale. I see. That's not bad though. Some of the mechanics are good. Me too. I don't wanna miss some of the lore. Let me rename this stream because I'm going to cover numbers. I think maybe we'll just read the short story. Although Blue Kip isn't here, I was hoping I could make up for the one from yesterday because it wasn't very good. Not good for. Oh, I see. Nice. Can mess with them. But it doesn't set you back. It doesn't set you back too far, right? If it has a mechanics like that, it must have save points. Or be easy to get back. Or is it just brutal about it? I see. Okay, let me put... These are all the Skyrim. I'm gonna look. Skyrim what? This would probably be a game that's hard to run on my PC, wouldn't it? Oh, you were summoned. That's good. When you get that... Well, I don't think you'll have to play anytime soon. I don't think I can run it on this laptop. I can't run Fall Guys even. Most important. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the reply. Never mind. I don't know when you'll be playing. I have to know this. Most important. Okay, I'll look into it more. I chose I learned a cool fact too. I guess so. But I stole your prayer. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for your lost fate, or the equivalent. That's kind of you. You get more prayers for that. Okay. What I found... Oh yeah, I learned a cool fact. Did you know? You know that axolotls are actually kind of a salamander, and they just are perpetually in their larval stage? Maybe that's well known, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. And the things on the side of their heads, those are their gills, and they have crazy regenerative power, so they can grow back entire limbs and part of their brains and eyes and spinal cords. And do you know that the babies kind of eat each other? They're kind of cannibalistic when they're little. They kind of grow out of it. But yeah, they'll even eat their siblings. And Kev. Oh no. The cannibalism is cute. Well, I guess the nibbling. Maybe it's just nibbling, but sometimes they really do murder their siblings. So if you have them at home, you have to separate them until they get big enough that they won't eat each other. And I was reading about why this happened. Why this happened too. It's because where they evolved. Well, it's less damaging because they regenerate so quickly, but they still have pain receptors, you know? I don't imagine it's good to have, to be bitten. So, poor guys. And it's because where they evolved, in the lake that they evolved in, a lot of amphibians, they evolved in kind of shallow water, so it would dry up, in ponds. So it would eventually dry up. It's not a very stable place to live, and there's not that much food. But the lakes where they evolved didn't have many predators, and they didn't dry up because they were such big bodies of water. So there was never a pressure for them to take on their adult form. So they just ended up staying as their larval form, or their tadpole form. It's, like the equivalent of a tadpole. And but some can turn into salamanders still. They still have the capability. They just need to have certain factors. I think I read it with certain chemicals, but there must be environmental conditions too, because someone had a pet axolotl. It turned into a salamander. So I don't think they put a potion on it. It's funny. the box jellyfish. I think that one's around Australasia. Australasia. And I think it's everywhere really, but or maybe I'm thinking of its equivalent. But the really dangerous one that has super long tentacles, and and also I was learning about why. Let me drink some water. I made it so that there's a shortcut. What is it? No. It says okay, they're huge. Let me use studio mode. That was perspective. My hands up to the camera. That's why. So like that. Studio. It's very advanced stuff. That. Probably should adjust this beforehand. There we go. And I made so the hotkey. One hotkey. See? Can you hear clicking? Okay. Do you... Hey. Okay. It's this weird system, but... I thought people like to hear the clicks. Maybe... I brought it up so you might be able to hear them. This Morrowind. It's a mechanical keyboard. I'm going to look this up. Minus. Okay. I don't know what you meant by that, but it would be a mystery, I guess. Morrowind. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? That's. Where are you? Are you such? Okay, maybe not that. Regeneration. Okay, covered that. Oh, another fun fact though. Stuff. No? Is that common? I wonder. I thought that the amount of adrenaline you have wouldn't let you go to sleep. Maybe they're not. Falls into speed. I know this terminology. Yes. I know Laura at least. Or from your message from before. I haven't seen the concert. It was a HoloLive. I don't keep up with it. I just watch occasionally when I'm interested. I don't keep up with the overarching company stuff sometimes, so Did they have their concert? Oh, I've never been to one. I only watched the free ones that they have on the main channel. Performance, November, August. Is that what you're talking about? 4 or 5. Oh. Did it? Oh. Oh, Kizuna. It's a little bit harder to get attached to a vtuber for me if there are multiple people. But she is like a progenitor, you know? She's like a trailblazer. So it's probably still very cool. And she's really, all of the people who play are really talented too. I've seen some of my stuff. Oh, let's hear. I want to hear a fun fact. I got one about, a quick one about vegetables. GMM. GMM. Ah, I know. I know them. I watched them consume food. Yes. That's cool. Is that why that happens when you're about to fall asleep? It's not ready yet. It's comforting, isn't it? I like food review stuff. I don't know, this casual stuff I'm reading. Oh, I read the first chapter of the book you linked of Shadow Slave. I see why you like it. It was fun. I don't think I'm gonna read the whole thing, but I like the style of it. There's a lot more going on, you know. Just a little. Maybe five pages shorter and it will be viable. That's cool. Me too, Sam. Sometimes... that heard noise. Just a car. Oh, my fact is that, well, did you know that technically all fruits are vegetables? Because a vegetable is just an edible part of a plant. So all fruits are vegetables, but not all vegetables are fruits. There are tons of things that you think of as vegetables that are actually fruits because of the enclosed seed rule. Like a cucumber. A cucumber is a botanical fruit. Stillness phone. Sorry, that's a funny image to me. On your phone, completely eyes shut, almost asleep. And then as soon as you have the falling feeling, you can put it away finally. Oh, Victorian, I'm open to it. Can that happen while you're still awake too? But I mean, I guess it always happens in that period before being, between being awake and asleep, but can it happen when you're still conscious about it? That is a skill. I think I always fall asleep before then. I don't usually listen to stuff before I sleep though. Yeah, I would be interested in Victorian romance novels. Why do you have one? Actually, I watched something like a Victorian, maybe. I don't know if it counts as Victorian. Are they really? I mean, you're probably joking, but I think for some they might be. You're talking about the stream a lot. I'm going to have to look at it. Is that your plan? Kanade. Soulless. Alright then. You guys are giving me too much media. Darn. It's too bad. I couldn't take it in person. Well, I was thinking one of the things I could do to try to go outside is go to the library, because I thought people would be nicer at a library and quiet and probably not weird if I'm awkward or just really quiet, because they'll think I'm just even writing stuff for me to consume. Of course though. And even if it's not so good, I'll write the best review. I'll write the best review, and it would be so... I would trick everyone into buying it, and you would own an island. I saw this book. Okay, did I put the name in right? But that makes it seem like I don't have faith in your book making it on its own. And I do. I do, okay? It's a backup plan. Yeah. I'm getting a backup plan so you won't be nervous, so you won't need it. Because that'll always be an option. It's like how if you know you have 10 tries, you can make it on the first or second. That's what I'm going for. Dehydrated. And drink water. It's too quiet over there. More water. I was gonna say, is there an incantation I can do? Or do you have some kind of luck strategy? Some kind of, do you have what is it called? A ritual? To get the things you want? I know some people have a lucky item. Maybe you should get a lucky item. Have you tried Kanada's games, maybe? I mean, you never know. Maybe that's your lucky item. Stinky. The word stinky is fun to say. Oh, right, the Victorian thing. I don't know if this counts as Victorian, but you know, what actually what does count as Victorian? It's only English, right? What is as exactly as the Victorian period. It's oh, it's defined by the Queen, of course. So I suppose this wouldn't really count fully. It's named after one of the many Queen Victorias. 1837 to 1901. And only British history. Because I saw a movie recently. Well, I guess it was a few weeks ago now. A week ago. It was called Crimson Peak. Have you seen that? It's half maybe Victorian. I think it was actually a little bit after. I think it was mid-1900s. And half of it takes place in America, so it would be, even then it would only be half Victorian. But some of the styles still look like it, and it was really good. It was a ghosts movie, and kind of inappropriate too, so, you know, I don't know. It was very good. There is something a little bit, well, very inappropriate, and so I can't say what it is because it's a spoiler, so I guess just in general, if you don't like inappropriate stuff, I don't know, if it bothers you, I don't know though, and I can't ask without spoiling it. It's not really scary, but I also don't really find most things scary, so maybe I'm not the best judge. There was only one part that was scary to me. I actually had to pull up the covers a little. And that was just because it reminded me of The Conjuring a little. Just one scene. It might be scary, but the ghost design is super cool. I'm not spoiling it because the first sign of the movie is ghosts are real, I think, and you see the ghost in I think a minute, so it's not a spoiler. 18, yeah, yeah. There's yeah. It's more than just yeah. It's a little bit more than that in some way. A quiet place? The 18+ thing, you mean? I don't remember that. Being in a quiet place, it's just quiet place, a different thing. Quiet. I don't know. No, I don't believe in them. If they want to change my mind, they can come here now and prove their existence. But they won't. Coward. Coward, 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 coward. Coward, coward, coward. I'm gonna desecrate your grave if you don't prove your existence right now. Oh, darn it. You sure? Oh, okay. You're not talking about the inappropriate stuff. But I can never leave in the first few minutes. Yeah, I never want to miss any section. Well, either that or death has made them very, very passive and very uncaring. You know, but no, I don't believe in them at all. Intro. Also, I gotta say, there's so many things that don't make sense though. Like, why is the only power knocking stuff off of the wall? They are the weakest beings. They're weaker than like an 8-year-old. Guys, I just called you weak. Disprove me. Chop my arm off. I'm holding it out. You have 5 seconds and I'm retracting the offer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. maybe I'm... But I don't know, it seems that only the people who believe in them have encounters. So I think it's firmly in your mind. I think the fear of the unknown actually isn't very... It isn't that important. That isn't really that important in the story, because I think it's actually more of a romance. Which monster manual? Because they do interact with some. Well, some people say that they feel them. Isn't that very common? In hotels and things, they pretend... Well, it's, in the interest of the hotel to say that it's true. You can feel the pressure on your chest. Things like that. Of course I don't believe them. But people who go there, they really say that they have experiences. And they firmly believe it's because they want to believe it, or they do believe it. And everything's so convincing. Like, for example, when you're scared in the dark, you hear noises, right? Noises that wouldn't bother you if you were awake and you weren't scared and there was light. And you think, what was that shadow? That looked like a person. And sometimes I've seen that, but then I know I'm being silly and I go to the shadow and I touch it and it's not a person. So, one day it will be, maybe. Exactly. But about the movie, it's more of a romance. So actually, I think you're right. Like, normally it is good if they don't reveal the monster, because whenever they reveal the monster, it becomes way less scary. The only way that you can reveal the monster while being unscary is like if you do it in flashes. But if you show the monster like in full and you can understand it, then it becomes a little scary, because a huge part of being scared of the monster is just the unknown aspect. It's like why some people though, for example, who watched the Babadook, they didn't like it because the monster is never shown. Well, at least not fully. I think only a shadow. But that isn't the fault of the movie. It's a really good movie. It's just the marketing showed us being like a monster thriller, but it's not. It's really a movie about grief. Hi, Alex. And what was I saying? Oh, and the guy who plays Loki, he's in this movie too. Tom Hiddleston. I think he's getting typecast. I want to talk about how I thought he redeemed himself. And I guess he kind of redeemed himself as Loki, because he does. I really don't understand why he tried to stab him. I feel like he'd be smarter than that. There's no way he'd be able to take him out with a tiny little Swiss Army knife. Like, even in his sleep it would be difficult. His skin is so thick. And anyway, I don't know why he did that. I think he had a death wish. But I think at least it kind of did redeem him. Because it was, brave. It was brave and selfless. But in this movie, he has something that's kind of a redemption, but I don't actually think it is, and I can't explain why, because of the spoiler. Mr. Intro. Mr. Intro. Yeah, I agree. It's better when you don't see it at the beginning. At least for most of it, it should be a mystery. I think that there's no design you can have that's scarier than what the imagination can conjure. Do you have one that you find the scariest? Also, I want to ask you if you believe in ghosts. You only heard my side. Do you believe in them? always nice to have it wrapped up. Otherwise you get those ambiguous endings where you're not even quite sure if you're thinking of things right. It's better when they do at least explain it mostly. When there's an answer. Neko. Yeah. That's terrible thought though. Like I have thing. It's not a ghost. It's just a thing I've imagined watches me since I was a child. So I've always had like something that watches me. I've never felt alone really. But it's not a ghost. It's just a thing. I don't know how to describe it. I forgot to get it in my water. Yeah. They only like watching miserable people, so they're doing their best to make you miserable. No, but some of you... Oh, I guess you would have existed then, huh? Maybe. But yeah, I don't understand. Like, you know how people, they can do bad things when they're alone. But I'm never alone, so I always have to justify stuff and tell things, you know, why. And I never do things mostly. I wouldn't imagine things seeing me do, so... they're always there, I don't know. But I'm very comfortable with them now. It's better than... Well, I shouldn't tell you about that one yet. Not that one. What do you mean? What do you mean by a cricket? Also, I have a new story. Today. I don't hear them talking anymore. I don't know. But maybe I didn't come back. He might take his car somewhere. It's nothing paranormal. It's just a concept, I think. Oh, is that from Pinocchio? Oh, they don't speak. They're... I don't know what they are. Gemini. They don't talk to me. Is it a little cricket? It is. Oh, this is a very old movie. Let me see. When was Pinocchio? Pinocchio. Papa. What is a Pinocchio? Pinocchio. Really? 1940. That's incredible animation for 1940. Is that true? Wow. They're just nothing. I don't know. I just know that it's always been there. Pinocchio's... I don't remember enough about Pinocchio. Well, he wants to be a real boy. He probably does become a real boy, at least in Disney's version, because they like happy endings, but maybe in the original fairy tale he just goes away, his soul just goes away. You mean that maybe he was the one who he was the one who planted it, encouraged it somehow. Was it fairy dust? I don't know, but I've always found the idea of your ancestors watching for heaven to be kind of weird and silly, because if heaven is super great, why are they wasting their time watching your mundane life? I don't get it. Or maybe they just become really powerful and they can do that too. They can do everything and they can watch you. No, I would be very sad if my grandpa watched me. I'm glad he died before I became different. I don't want him to see me again. He's my favorite person. Well, he was, he's dead. Well, he still is, but... I wouldn't be surprised if it's German. My Yaya had all these old German fairy tales. The pictures in them are so cool. Like there's one where a boy won't eat a soup, and through the images you watch him starve to death. And you can see his ribs, and then he becomes nothing and he dies. It's to make children eat their leftovers. So, in Edward Scissorhands, I think it was Edward Scissorhands, it really does. You see him cut off the thumbs of children. Maybe this is the reason for the timeliness. The children's stories. Wait, I've heard of that. I've heard of that. Grim. Yeah. I hope that as well. Well, I just mean pathetic. Like not being able to talk to people and stuff. But he, cause my papa he's so noteworthy, you know. He was. I'm stubborn. Let me look it up. I've heard good things about this. I still haven't watched it. I should watch it. Too much stuff to watch. Yeah, I've seen praises about this. Yes. Hey, where is this? No. The closest. Okay, what have I seen of his? I've seen. Oh. And did you mention this because of Crimson Peak? It's not the same. You're a chat box, and my monkey brain doesn't understand that you're human. Well, I guess you're bat. But, it wouldn't work if you were here. Did you mention it because of Crimson Peak, or is that a coincidence? Because he directed that too. I've actually seen a decent amount of his stuff. I've seen Pacific Rim, Hellboy, Scary Stories, To Tell in the Dark, Shape of Water. I've seen a decent amount of his stuff. He's very talented. Okay. I should watch it. Okay. We should do watch-alongs. I do worry about that though, that I won't know what to say, or that I'll interrupt it for you. That would be nice though. We could do watch-alongs. I just need a little timer up there, and then we could watch it together. You don't need Discord for that, do you? Because I've seen a lot of smaller VTubers do it through Discord. Thank you. Yeah, he's such a cool dude. We'll talk about him another time. Okay, I have no idea how that works, but okay, I should probably make a Discord. I remember even when I got a Discord in middle school, the interface was kind of confusing to me. I don't know, maybe I'm not with the times. I'll watch a how-to video on it. I can't find where I put this guy. Where did I put you? Image 5. No. It must be one of the... Oh, there we go. We'll go here. Oh, I see, it's one of those quality things. So you must be able to show it directly in the screen. That's cool. Okay, I will make a Discord after this, so you can do watch parties one day. Okay, I have a new lot of tasks. I did shut out. I didn't restart the computer since then, so hopefully it won't lag as much. I hope. Where did my story go? I should have been incognito. Key. Okay. Here. Oh, you must be a big fan. So lovely. I remember when I had an online friend, we watched this through, one of those ocean sites. Then they have a share with your friend thing. That was, middle school. You know what I mean. It's so fun. We should have a series that we can watch as a community. Okay. I was gonna start watching the show. I've seen the movies with Robert Downey Jr. I've seen those, but I don't think I've seen the show. Are you rolling as we go? Oh no, you're addicted. How terrible. I'm just kidding. It's good if you have fun. Me too. I thought I did a pretty good accent. There's also the newer one. Oh wait, was that Tom Hiddleston too? Is he in everything? No, it's a different guy. Okay, I get faces confused sometimes. I was saying he's invading all of our media. I never have seen that one. I only know the name of this guy because I had a vendetta against him as a kid. I think it's better not to know the actors, really, so you can see the character. Especially because a lot of places wanna get, big names so that more people will be drawn to it. So it means you're gonna see the same people over and over again. And if you know them too much, then you're just gonna see them. So I don't want to learn too much about them. I'm messing up myself. Sure. Where are you? 3 tabs. Okay, I should probably make it too. There you go. This here. I think I don't. Okay, that's fine. Oh, actually, IB is on sale. I just noticed. Do you? If you really want to watch it soon, I can buy it. I have a little bit left over. It's only 9 now, but I don't know. Maybe I should wait for a better. I don't know. Was it maybe? Oh, I know. First, I think that's common. Oh wait, she is the one who's, she gets stuff done, right? She's Oh. Yes, I think so. I've never seen Alien before. I've never seen a lot of really big franchises actually. We could watch that. I've never seen Alien or Predator or Men in Black or Fast and Furious or Planet of the Apes or a ton of series, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, none of that. So a lot of Okay, I just want to hold. So 12 days, does it? Sorry, I'm a little bit behind on your messages. No, I want to. I want to play what you guys want to play. It's already partially on sale, so. But if it will go on sale more, then I don't know. Rush Hour? No. But I think that's the one. That's the one with. Is it Jackie Chan? Yes. Okay. No, I've never seen that. I've never seen a lot of kung fu movies or any martial arts really. Alright. We'll add that too. What is this? What is the face for? No, but I do. Is it because I haven't seen them? Why the face clockwork? I do though. I've heard a lot about it. There's one game with I forgot what it's called. It's very popular and I think it has a name similar to IB, but I don't remember. It's okay. Another time. Oh, okay. I didn't notice that one is your default. She looks hesitant. She looks disgusted. Let's see. Okay, story. Right, story. So this time I chose it. I was thinking maybe all short stories will kind of sound like school stuff because it's very common for teachers to assign short stories no matter how good they are. you know, because of the attention span thing, and it's easier to assign essays on them and everything, and read them in class. So maybe they would also like assignments. I hope not, though. Sure hike. I have seen this. It looks familiar, but is this something kind of similar to the vibe of Stardew Valley? Because I have played a decent amount of Stardew Valley, so I was hoping if we play games that are similar, it wouldn't be more Stardew Valley, but I guess it could be. But maybe it would be good to try new stuff, since I haven't really played that many games. I looked at the simulator stuff too, but it does cost money, unless you meant a different one. But I will look for something else. I'll look for I'll keep looking. And let me pull up the story. Where's the browser? Browser. Window. Okay, this should be short hike. Two. That's too much on top of each other. Besides, we already have a lot of games. Short library. Where are you? Okay, this should do it. It doesn't. There we go. Okay. Dragon's Word. Oh, I mean, I played a few hundred hours, but it was a long time ago. So I don't know even how much I could help you. Also, maybe she would want to teach you. I'll give you stuff to talk about. Oh no, you don't have to get into me. I don't know what Dragon's Hoard is, but I don't understand what that is, some kind of membership, but you should give them to your friends, because you already have a lot. And I think, yeah, you should give them to your friends. We already have like 15 games. Some of them are really long too. Right, move you over. Where should you be? Can't. Okay, like that. And they have to be very small. Alright. Move how far? It's still too big. There you go. And then maybe snap this. I could whip you. I guess you could go. Where could you go? Corner. Maybe bend to the corner. But you will have them for a long time, right? You should save them, because you can still buy stuff, right? And just save it for yourself, or do you only have a certain amount of time that you can play it? I don't want to take that. Alright, so I chose this one now. I don't know. still don't know if you'll like it because I don't know if we have the same. Well, I just meant, you know, people you've known for a while. So, I still don't know if you're gonna like it. I know it has a meme, but I don't know what meme or what it means. So you might still not like it, but I read part 1 and I thought it was decent, so hopefully you like it. I have to be clearer to read, but I don't know where they are. They could be anywhere. They could be all around me. And my window's open, so ghosts can get in and listen too. They can come through the walls, though. They're supposed to be able to come through the walls. No. I went. I read because it was one of the... Okay. It was one of the top rated ones, and I liked the first part. Is it okay to still read it? Also, I looked up some of the vocabulary in the first part, so, yeah, so it would be easier to, get the pronunciations first time, because I think I missed a few of them. Okay. I'll drink water and then begin. Bye. The night was cold and wet, but in the small parlor of the Burnham Villa, the blinds were drawn and the fire burned brightly. Father and son were at chess, the former who possessed ideas about the game involving radical chances, putting his knights into such sharp and unnecessary perils that it even provoked comment from the white-haired old lady knitting placidly by the fire. "Hark the wind," said Mr. White, who, having seen a fatal mistake after it was too late, was amiably desirous of preventing his son from seeing it. "I'm listening," said the leader, grimly surveying the board as he stretched out his hand. "Check." "I should hardly think that he's come tonight," said his father, with his hand poised over the board. "Mate," replied the son. "That's the worst of living so far out," moaned Mr. Ray, with the sun and unlooked for violence. "Of all the beastly, slushy, out-of-the-way places to live, this is the worst. Past the bog, and the road a torrent." I don't know what people are thinking about. I suppose because only 2 houses in the road are let, they think it doesn't matter. "Never mind, dear," said his wife soothingly. "Perhaps you'll win the next one." Mr. White looked up sharply, just in time to intercept a knowing glance between mother and son. The words died away on his lips, and he hid a guilty grin in his thin grey beard. "There he is," said Herbert White, as the gate banged too loudly and heavy footsteps came toward the door. "What? Sorry, my heart's beating so fast." "Fine, it's just reading." "Maybe my water will help. I want to check too that the sound is okay." Okay. The old man rose with hospitable haste, and opening the door, was heard condoling with the new arrival. The new arrival also condoled with himself, so that Miss White said, "Tut, tut," and coughed gently as her husband entered the room, followed by a man followed by a tall, burly man, beady of eye and rubicund of visage. Sergeant Major Morris, he said, introducing him. The sergeant major took hands and, taking the proffered seat by the fire, watched contentedly as his host got out whiskey and tumblers and stirred a small copper kettle on the fire. Kettle? At the third glass, his eyes got brighter, and he began to talk. The little family circle regarding with eager interest his visitor from a distant part, as he squared his broad shoulder in the chair and spoke of wild scenes and doughty deeds, of wars and plagues and strange peoples. 21 years of it, said Mr. White, nodding at his wife and son. When he went away, he was a slip of youth in his warehouse. Now look at him. You don't look to have taken much harm, said Miss White politely. I like to go to India myself, said the old man. Just look around a bit, you know. Better where you are, said the sergeant major, shaking his head. He put down the empty glass and, sighing softly, shook it again. I should like to see those old temples and fakirs and jugglers, said the old man. What was that you started telling me the other day about a monkey's paw or something, Morris? Nothing, said the soldier hastily. Leastways nothing worth hearing. Monkey's paw? Miss White curiously. Well, it's just a bit of what you might call magic, perhaps, said the sergeant major offhandedly. His three listeners leaned forward eagerly. The visitor absent-mindedly put his empty glass to his lips and set it down again. His host filled it for him again. To look at, said the sergeant major, fumbling in his pocket. It's just an ordinary little paw dried to a mummy. He took something out of his pocket and proffered it. Miss White drew back with a grimace, but her son, taking it, examined it curiously. And what is there special about it? A moment. Inquired Mr. White as he took it from his son, and having examined it, placed it upon the table. Had a spell put on it by an old fakir, said the sergeant major. Very holy man. He wanted to show that fate ruled people's lives, and that those who interfered with it did so in their sorrow. He put a spell on it so that 3 separate men could each have 3 wishes from it. His manners were so impressive that his hearers were conscious that their light laughter had jarred somewhat. Well, why don't you have 3, sir? Said Herbert cleverly. The soldier regarded him in the way that middle age is wont to regard presumptuous youth. I have, he said quietly, and his blotchy face whitened. And did you really have the 3 wishes granted? Asked Miss White. I did, sergeant major, and his glass tapped against his strong teeth. And has anyone else wished? Persisted the old lady. First man had his 3 wishes, yes, was his reply. I don't know what the first 2 were, but the third was for death. That's how I got the paw. His tones were so grave that a hush fell upon the group. If you had your 3 wishes, it's no good to you now then, Morris, said the old man at last. What do you keep it for? The soldier shook his head. Fancy, I suppose, said slowly. I did have some idea of selling it, but I don't think I will. It's caused me enough mischief already. Besides, people won't buy it. They think it's a fairy tale, some of them. And those who do think anything of it want to try it first and pay me afterward. If you could have another 3 wishes, said the old man, eyeing him keenly, would you have them? I don't know, said the other. I don't know. He took the paw and, dangling between his forefinger and thumb, suddenly threw it upon the fire. White, with a slight cry, stooped down and snatched it off. Better let it burn, said the soldier solemnly. If you don't want it more, said the other, give it to me. I won't, said doggedly. I threw it on the fire. If you keep it, don't blame me for what happens. Pitch it on the fire like a sensible man. The other shook his head and examined his possession closely. How do you do it? He inquired. Hold it up in your right hand and wish aloud, said the sergeant major, but I warn you of the consequences. Sounds like the Arabian Nights, said Miss White, as she rose and began to set the supper. Don't you think you might wish for 4 pairs of hands for me? Husband drew his talisman from his pocket, and all 3 burst into laughter as the sergeant major, with a look of alarm on his face, caught him by the arm. If If you must wish, he said gruffly, wish for something sensible. Mr. White dropped it back in his pocket and, placing chairs, motioned his friend to the table. In the busyness of supper, the talisman was partially forgotten, and afterward the three sat listening in enthralled fashion to a second installment of the soldier's adventures in India. If the tale about the monkey's paw is more truthful than those he has been telling us, said Herbert as the door closed behind their guest, just in time to catch the last train. We shan't make much of it. Did you get anything for it, father? Inquired Miss White, regarding her husband closely. A trifle, he said, coloring slightly. He didn't want it, but I made him take it, and he pressed me again to throw it away. Likely, said Herbert, with pretended horror. Why, we're going to be rich and famous and happy. Wish to be an emperor, father, to begin with, then you can't be henpecked. He darted around the table, pursued by the malign Miss White, armed with an antimacassar. Mr. White took the paw from his pocket and eyed it dubiously. I don't know what to wish for, and that's a fact, he said slowly. Seems to me I've got all I want. If you only cleared the house, you'd be quite happy, wouldn't you? Said Herbert, with his hand on his shoulder. Well, wish for 200 pounds, then. That should just do it. His father, smiling shamefacedly at his own credulity, held up the talisman, and his son, with a solemn face somewhat marred by a wink at his mother, sat down and struck a few impressive chords. I wish for 200 pounds, said the young man distinctly. A fine crash from the piano greeted his words, interrupted by a shuddering cry from the old man. His wife and son ran toward him. It moved, he cried, a glance of disgust at the object as it lay on the floor. As I wished, it twisted in my hand like a snake. Well, I don't see the money, said his son, picked it up and placed it on the table, and I bet I never shall. It must have been your fancy, father, said his wife, regarding him anxiously. He shook his head. Never mind, though. There's no harm done, but it gave me a shock all the same. They sat down by the fire again while the two men finished their pipes. Outside, the wind was higher than ever, and the old man started nervously at the sound of the door banging upstairs. A silence unusual and depressing settled on all three, which lasted until the old couple rose to retire for the rest of the night. I expect you'll find the cash tied up in a big bag in the middle of your bed, said Herbert, as he bade them good night, and something horrible squatting on top of your wardrobe, watching you as you pocket your ill-gotten gains. He sat alone in the darkness, gazing at the dying fire, and seeing faces in it. Loss was so horrible and so simian that he gazed at it in amazement. It got so vivid that, with a little uneasy laugh, he felt on the table for a glass containing a little water to throw over it. His hands grasped the monkey's paw, and with a little shiver he wiped his hand on his coat and went up to bed. Okay, I will drink some water. And, Simian, I looked this up. Simian it's a info order of, apes that we belong to, so it's just saying that, the face in the fire looked like a monkey. Okay. Part 2. In the brightness of the wintry sun next morning, as it streamed over the breakfast table, he laughed at his fears. There was an air of prosaic wholesomeness about the room which he had lacked on the previous night, and the dirty, shriveled little paw was pitched on the sideboard with a carelessness which betokened no great belief in its virtues. I suppose all soldiers are the same, said Miss White. The idea of our listening to such nonsense. How could wishes be granted in these days? And if they could, how could 200 pounds hurt you, father? Might drop on his head from the sky, said frivolous Herbert. Mother said things happen so naturally, said his father. You might, if you so wish to attribute it to coincidence. Well, don't break into the money before I come back, said Herbert as he rose from the table. I'm afraid I'll turn you into a mean, vicious man, and we shall have to disown you. His mother laughed, and following him to the door, watched him down the road, and returning to the breakfast table, was very happy at the expense of her husband's credulity, all of which did not prevent her from scurrying to the door at the postman's knock, nor prevent her from referring somewhat shortly to retired sergeant majors of bibulous habits, when she found that the post brought a tailor's bill. Herbert will have some more of his funny remarks, I expect, when he comes home, she said as they sat at dinner. I dare say, said Mr. White, pouring himself out some beer, but for all that, the thing moved in my hand, that I'll swear to. You thought it did, said the old lady soothingly. I say it did, replied the other. There was no thought about it. I just had... What's the matter? Smith made no reply. She was watching the mysterious movements of a man outside who, peering in an undecided fashion at the house, appeared to be trying to make up his mind to enter. In mental connection with the 200 pounds, she noticed that the stranger was well dressed and wore a silk hat of glossy newness. 3 times he paused at the gate and then walked on again. The 4th time he stood with his hand upon it, and then with sudden resolution flung it open and walked up the path. Miss White at the same moment placed her hands behind her, and hurriedly unfastening the strings of her apron, put that useful article of apparel behind the cushion of her chair. She brought the stranger, who seemed ill at ease, into the room. He gazed at her fervently and listened in a preoccupied fashion as the old lady apologized for the appearance of the room and her husband's coat, a garment which he usually reserved for the garden. She then waited as patiently as her sex would permit for him to broach his business, but he was first strangely silent. I was asked to call, he said at last, and stooped and picked a piece of cotton from his trousers. I come from Ma and Megan's. The old lady started. Is anything the matter? She asked breathlessly. Has anything happened to Herbert? What is it? What is it? Husband interposed. There, mother, he said hastily. Sit down and don't jump to conclusions. You've not brought bad news, I'm sure, sir. He eyed the other wistfully. I'm sorry, began the visitor. Is he hurt? demanded the mother wildly. Visitor bowed in assent. Badly hurt, he said quietly, but he's not in any pain. Oh, thank God, said the woman, clasping her hands. Thank God for that, She broke off as the sinister meaning of the assurance dawned on her, and she saw the awful confirmation of her fears in the other's averted face. She caught her breath and turning to her slow-witted husband, laid her trembling hand on his. There was a long silence. He was caught in the machinery, said the visitor, at length in a low voice. Caught in the machinery, repeated Mr. White in a dazed fashion. Yes. He sat staring out the window, and taking his wife's hand between his own, pressed it as he had been wont to do in their old courting days, nearly 40 years before. He was the only one left to us, he said, turning gently to the visitor. It is hard. The other coughed, and rising walked slowly to the window. The firm wishes me to convey their sincere sympathy with you and your great loss, he said, without looking round. I beg that you will understand I am only their servant, and merely obeying orders. There was no reply. The old woman's face was white, her eyes staring, and her breath inaudible. On the husband's face was a look such that his friend the sergeant might have carried into his first action. I was to say that Ma and Megan's disclaim all responsibility, continued the other. They admit no liability at all, but in consideration of your son's services, they wish to present you with a certain sum as compensation. Mr. White dropped his wife's hand and, rising to his feet, gazed with a look of horror at his visitor. His dry lips showed the words, How much? 200 pounds was the answer. Unconscious of his wife's shriek, the old man smiled faintly, put out his hands like a sightless man and dropped a senseless heap to the floor. Water. Part 3. In the huge new cemetery, some 2 miles distant, the old people buried their dead and came back to the house steeped in shadows and silence. It was all over so quickly that at first they could hardly realize it, and remained in a state of expectation as though something else to happen, something else which was to lighten this load too heavy for old hearts to bear. But the days passed and expectations gave way to resignation, the hopeless resignation of the old, sometimes miscalled apathy. Sometimes they hardly exchanged a word, for now they had nothing to talk about, and their days were long to weariness. It was about a week after that the old man, walking suddenly in the night, stretched out his hand and found himself alone. The room was in darkness, and the sound of subdued weeping came from the window. He raised himself in bed and listened. "Come back," he said tenderly, "you will be cold." "It's colder for my son," said the old woman, and wept afresh. The sounds of her sobs died away in his ears. The bed was warm, and his eyes heavy with sleep. He dozed fitfully and then slept until a sudden wild cry from his wife awoke him with a start. "The paw!" she cried wildly. "The monkey's paw!" He stared up in alarm. Where is it? What's the matter?" She came stumbling across the room toward him. "I want it," she said quietly. You not destroyed it." "It's in the parlor, on the back," he replied, marveling. "Why?" She cried and laughed together, and bending over, kissed him on the cheek. "I only just thought of it," she said hysterically. "Why didn't I think of it before? Why didn't you think of it?" "Think of what?" he questioned. "The other 2 wishes," she replied rapidly. "We've only had one." "Was not that enough?" he demanded fiercely. "No," she cried triumphantly. "We'll have one more. Go down and get it quickly and wish our boy alive again." The man sat in bed and flung the bedclothes from his quaking limbs. "Good God, you are mad!" he cried aghast. "Get it," she panted. "Get it quickly and wish... Oh, my boy, my boy!" Her husband struck a match and lit the candle. "Get back to bed," he said instantly. "You don't know what you are saying." "We had the first wish granted," said the old woman furiously. "Why not the second?" "A coincidence," stammered the old man. "Go get it and wish," cried his wife, quivering with excitement. The old man turned and regarded her, and his voice shook. "He has been dead 10 days. Besides, I would not tell you else, but I could only recognize him by his clothing. If he was too terrible for you to see, then how now?" "Bring him back," cried the old woman, and dragged him toward the door. "Do you think I fear the child I have nursed?" He went down into the darkness and felt his way to the parlor and then to the mantelpiece. The talisman was in its place, and a horrible fear that the unspoken wish might bring his mutilated son before him, ere he could escape from the room, seized up on him, and he caught his breath as he found that he had lost the direction of the door. Brow cold with sweat, he felt his way around the table and groped along the wall until he found himself in a small passage with the unwholesome thing in his hand. Even his wife's face seemed changed as he entered the room. It was white and expectant. As to his fear, seemed to have an unnatural look upon it. He was afraid of her. "Wish," she cried in a strong voice. "It's foolish and wicked," he faltered. "Wish," repeated his wife. He raised his hand. "I wish my son alive again." The talisman fell to the floor, and he regarded it fearfully. Then he sank trembling into a chair as the old woman, with burning eyes, walked to the window and raised the blind. He sat until he was chilled with the cold, glancing occasionally at the figure of the old woman peering through the window. The candle end, which was burned below the rim of the china candlestick, was throwing pulsating shadows on the ceilings and walls, until, with the flicker larger than the rest, it expired. The old man, with an unspeakable sense of relief at the failure of the talisman, crept back to his bed, and a minute afterward the old woman came silently and apathetically behind him. Neither spoke, but sat silently listening to the ticking of the clock. A stair creaked, and a squeaky mouse scurried noisily through the wall. The darkness was oppressive, and after lying for some time, screwing up his courage, he took the box of matches, and striking one, went downstairs for a candle. At the foot of the stairs, the match ran out, and he paused to strike another, and at the same moment a knock came so quiet and stealthy as to be scarcely audible, sounded on the front door. The matches fell from his hands and spilled in the passage. He stood motionless, his breath suspended until the knock was repeated. Then he turned and fled swiftly back to his room, closed the door behind him. A third knock sounded through the house. "What's that?" cried the old woman, starting up. "A rat," said the old man in shaking tones. "A rat! It passed me on the stairs." His wife sat up in bed listening. A loud knock resounded through the house. "It's Herbert!" She ran to the door, but her husband was before her, and catching her by the arm, held her tightly. "What are you going to do?" whispered hoarsely. "It's my boy, it's Herbert," she cried, struggling mechanically. "I forgot I was 2 miles away. What are you holding me for? Let go, I must open the door." "For Christ's sake, don't let it in," cried the old man, trembling. "You're afraid of your own son?" she cried, struggling. "Let me go, I'm coming, Herbert, I'm coming." There was another knock and another. The old woman, with a sudden wrench, broke free and ran from the room. Her husband followed to the landing and called after her appealingly as she hurried downstairs. He heard the chain rattle back, and the bolt drawn slowly and stiffly from the socket. Then the old woman's voice, strained and panting. "The bolt," she cried loudly. "Come down, I can't reach it." But her husband was on his hands and knees, groping wildly on the floor in search of the pot. If only he could find it before the thing outside got in. A perfect fusillade of knocks reverberated through the house, and he heard the scraping of a chair as his wife put it down the passage against the door. He heard the creaking of the bolt as it came slowly back, and at the same moment he found the monkey's paw and frantically breathed his third and last wish. The knocking ceased suddenly, although the echoes of it were still in the house. He heard the chair drawn back, and the door opened. A cold wish rushed up the staircase, and a long loud wail of disappointment and misery from his wife gave him courage to run down to her side, and then to the gate beyond. The street lamp flickering opposite shone on a quiet and deserted road. Okay. It was shorter than the other one. I like this one more. That is the end. What I really want to understand is why would a friend of him I thought this might be something teachers read. Why would a friend of his why would he ever give it up? Even with that warning, he knows the curiosity of people. He knows he'll use it. Why would you ever let your friend have that? I mean, it wasn't mandated by the law, was it? Because he went all that time without giving it to someone or telling someone about it. But, at least to the point that he recommended them taking it. So why would he do that to a friend? You give each other items that will kill your friend's sons. It's something that must have been enough for the other man to want to die. Something horrid. He must have wished for something big. I'm assuming the curses are in proportion to how big your wish is. So maybe that's why he wanted to die, because he was getting terrible, terrible, terrible curses put upon him. Maybe he wished for 2 really big things at once, and he was waiting for them to come, and when they did come, they were monstrous, and no, And then he wanted to die. I don't understand it. That doesn't make any sense. Are you disappointed you didn't see the monster? Actually, do you think it's better that he was wished away? Or do you think it would be better if he described a graveyard thing? a graveyard thing all bloodied and, I don't know, limping. Weird auto mod. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't do that. I didn't mod that. It's automatic. I don't know. It should be there now. Doesn't matter. So I like this one better. Though I'm on a website that has a lot of short stories. Let's see. It's a short story library. I can't quite see it, but I don't want to say. I don't understand. Well, I do understand why. I don't want to say. It was a weird. The auto mod must be very perverted because it's not bad unless you suggest that it's bad. An auto mod suggested it, so I don't know what auto mod is spending its days doing. I don't know. I think they're on other sites besides Twitch. They think weird things. Never would have thought that. Voices one. Maybe so. Like how the other man died. Maybe he was afflicted by it somehow still, and it made him do that to his friends. That's true. Yeah, I guess we shouldn't be hard on Automod. He has a very rough life. It's very bad. Yes, with great Twitch comes great corruption. Great internet. Maybe less of a joke, I don't know. Just some places, but he has to be everywhere. He has to be omnipresent. Anyway, I did like that one. I don't understand why a friend would do that, that's all, but I liked it still. And I mean I do have another one, but I think this one's a lot longer. I'm gonna show my suggestions other way. Where is it? Let me see how long it is. This one's a bit longer. Okay. Second and third. Yes, I wonder what the third is. Maybe instead of the sun coming back, the whole cemetery comes back and eats them. They say this is the monkey paw. Yeah, it's not a very ambiguous test. The monkey paw is very direct, you know. Lovecraft. I have haven't read his stuff. Yeah, maybe if it's swearing, I will admit it. Let me see. Smooth this. Beast in the cave. Alright. Wishes my command if it's a public domain and short enough. We could always read some now and some later. See. Okay. Oh, this is very short. I don't think I read anything by him. Well, maybe stuff in school? Maybe. I did find it. I just chose it. Let's make it a bit bigger. Like that. Well, these are the last one and this one I considered horror shorts, but I don't think I've ever been scared by a short story before. I don't think I've ever been scared by a story. Period. Reading. I think it's very difficult for such a thing to happen. Have you been scared by one before? I don't think that's happened. Oh. Do you mean his stories? He said messed up things, or like he had weird views as a person, like messed up views as a person. Scared of everything. With fear comes much hatred, much violence. Was he a violent man? Or did he just dream of it? It's better to dream. No stretch. I know that horror mangakas, they make a really good use of the page turning mechanic, like in Uzumaki, when you flip the page and you see the sky picture, it's never at the end of the spread, the 2-page spread. It's always the first thing on the next page. It was okay. I see. Make sure you're sitting, by the way. I just remembered that I was stretching. Your posture. Well, it happens. It happens when you're young. Well, this will be the first. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water and then we'll start. I was wondering if your mind was in gotcha hell. Maybe the monkey paw could help you. Would it be worth it for your family? Alright. Water. I'm out of water, so I'll go to the sink. Quickly. that's worth a wish too. Okay, monkey paw. Unstick this man's hands. I had to read it twice. Guy wasn't just me. Let's see. Okay. The horrible conclusion which had been gradually obtruding itself upon my confused and reluctant mind was now an awful certainty. I was lost completely, helplessly lost in the vast labyrinth and labyrinthine recesses of the mammoth cave. Turn as I might, in no direction could my straining vision seize on any object capable of serving as a guidepost to set me on the outward path. My vision's a little bit blurry, so let me just make this bigger. View. That never more should I behold the blessed light of day, or scan the pleasant hills and dales of the beautiful world outside. My reason could no longer entertain the slightest unbelief. Hope had departed. Indoctrinated as I was by a life of philosophical study, I derived no small measure of satisfaction from my unimpassioned demeanor, for although I had frequently read of the wild frenzies into which were thrown the victims of similar situations, I experienced none of these, but stood quiet as soon as I clearly realized the loss of my bearings. Nor did the thought that I had probably wandered beyond the utmost limits of an ordinary search cause me to abandon my composure, even for a moment. If I must die, I reflected, then was this terrible yet majestic cavern as welcome a sepulture as that which any churchyard might afford, a conception which carried with it more of tranquility than of despair. Starving would prove my ultimate fate. Of this I was certain. Some I knew had gone mad under circumstances such as these, but I felt that this end would not be mine. My disaster was the result of no fault save my own, since unbeknown to the guide I had separated myself from the regular party of sightseers, and wandering for over an hour in forbidden avenues of the cave, I found myself unable to retrace the devious windings which I had pursued since forsaking my companions. Already my torch had begun to expire. Soon I would be enveloped by the total and almost palpable blackness of the bowels of the earth. As I stood in the waning, unsteady light, I idly wondered over the exact circumstances of my coming end. I remembered the accounts which I had heard of the colony of consumptives, who, taking their residence in this gigantic grotto to find health from the apparently salubrious air of the underground world, with its already uniform temperature, pure air, and peaceful quiet, had found instead death in strange and ghastly form. I had seen the sad remains of their ill-made cottages as I passed them by with the party, and had wondered what unnatural influence of long sojourn in this immense and silent cavern would exert upon one as healthy and as vigorous as I. Now I grimly told myself my opportunity for settling this point had arrived, providing that want of food should not bring me too speedy a departure from this life. As the less fitful rays of my torch faded into obscurity, I resolved to leave no stone unturned, no possible means of escape neglected. So summoning all the powers possessed by my lungs, I set up a series of loud shoutings, in the vain hope of attracting the attention of the guide by my clamor. Yet as I called, I believed in my heart that my cries were to no purpose, and that my voice, magnified and afflicted by the numberless ramparts of the black maze about me, fell upon no ear save my own. All at once, however, my attention was fixed with a start as I fancied that I heard the sound of soft approaching steps on the rocky floor of the cavern. Was my deliverance about to be accomplished so soon? Had then all of my horrible apprehensions been for naught, and was the guide having marked by unwarranted absence from the party following my course and seeking me out in this limestone labyrinth? Whilst these joyful queries arose in my brain, I was on the point of renewing my cries in order that my discovery might come the sooner, when in an instant my delight was turned to horror as I listened. For my ever-acute ear, now sharpened even greater degree by the complete silence of the cave, bore to my benumbed understanding the unexpected and dreadful knowledge that these footfalls were not like those of any mortal man. In the earthly stillness of this subterranean region, the tread of the booted guide would have sounded like a series of sharp and incisive blows. These impacts were soft and stealthy, as of the padded paws of some feline. Besides, at times, when I listened carefully, I seemed to trace the falls of 4 instead of 2 feet. I was now convinced that I had, by my cries, aroused and attracted some wild beast, perhaps a mountain lion which had accidentally strayed within the cave. Perhaps I considered the Almighty had chosen for me a swifter and more merciful death than that of hunger. Yet the instinct of self-preservation, never wholly dormant, was stirred in my breast, and no escape from the oncoming peril might but spare me for a sterner and more lingering end. I determined nevertheless to part with my life at as high a price as I could command. Strange as it may seem, my mind conceived no intent on the part of the visitor save that of hostility. Accordingly, I became very quiet, in the hope that the unknown beast would, in the absence of a guiding sound, lose its direction as had I, and thus pass me by. But this hope was not destined for realization. For the strange footfall steadily advanced, the animal evidently having obtained my scent, which in an atmosphere so absolutely free from all distracting influences as is that of a cave, could doubtless be followed at a great distance. Seeing therefore that I must be on for defense against an uncanny and unseen attack in the dark, I groped about me the largest of the fragments of rocks which were strewn upon all parts of the floor of the cavern in the vicinity, and grasping one in each hand for immediate use, awaited with resignation the inevitable result. Meanwhile the hideous pattering of the paws drew near. Certainly the conduct of the creature was exceedingly strange. Most of the time the tread seemed to be that of a quadruped. Walking with a singular lack of unison betwixt hind and 4 feet, yet at brief and infrequent intervals I fancied that but 2 feet were engaged in the process of locomotion. I wondered what species of animals was to confront me. It must, I thought, be some unfortunate beast who had paid for its curiosity to investigate one of the entrances of the fearful grotto, with a lifelong confinement to its interminable recesses. It doubtless obtained as food the eyeless fish, bats, and rats of the cave, as well as some of the ordinary fish that are wafted in at the fresh bed of the Green River, which communicates in some occult manner with the waters of the cave. Order. I occupied my terrible vigil with grotesque conjectures of what alterations cave life might have wrought in the physical structure of the beast, remembering the awful appearances ascribed by local tradition to the consumptives who had died after long residence in the cavern. Then I remembered with a start that, even should I succeed in killing my antagonist, I should never behold its form, as my torch had long since been extinct, and I was entirely unprovided with matches. The tension on my brain now became frightful. My disordered fancy conjured up hideous, fearsome shapes from the sinister darkness that surrounded me, and actually seemed to press upon my body. Nearer and nearer, the dreadful footfalls approached. It seemed that I must give vent to a piercing scream, yet had I been sufficiently irresolute to attempt such a thing, my voice should scarce have responded. I was petrified, rooted to the spot. I doubted if my right arm would allow me to hurl its missile at the oncoming thing, when the crucial moment should arrive. Now the steady pat-pat of the steps was close at hand, now very close. I could hear the labored breathing of the animal, and terror-struck as I was, I realized that I must have come from a considerable distance, and was correspondingly fatigued. Suddenly the spell broke. My right hand, guided by my ever-trustworthy sense of hearing, threw with full force the sharp-angled bit of limestone which it contained toward that point of darkness from which emanated the breathing and pattering, and, wonderful to relate, it nearly reached its goal, for I heard the thing jump, landing at a distance away, where it seemed to pause. Having readjusted my aim, I discharged my second missile, this time most effectively, for with a thud of joy I listened as the creature fell in what sounded like a complete collapse, and evidently remained prone and unmoving. Almost overpowered by the great relief which rushed me, I reeled back against the wall. The breathing continued, in heavy gasping inhalations and expirations. Once I realized I had no more than wounded the creature, and now all desire to examine the thing ceased. At last something allied to groundless, superstitious fear had entered my brain, and I did not approach the body, nor did I continue to cast stones at all in order to complete the extinction of its life. Instead, I ran at full speed in what was, as near as I could estimate my frenzied condition, the direction from which I had come. Suddenly I heard a sound, or rather a regular succession of sounds. In another instant they resolved themselves into a series of sharp metallic clicks. This time there was no doubt, it was the guide, and then I shouted, yelled, screamed, even shrieked with joy as I beheld, in the vaulted arches above the faint glimmering effulgence, which I knew to be the reflected light of an approaching torch. I ran to meet the flame before I could completely understand what had occurred, was lying upon the ground at the feet of the guide, embracing his boots, and gibbering, despite my boasted reserve, in the most meaningless and idiotic manner, pouring out my terrible story, and at the same time overwhelming my auditor with protestations of gratitude. At length I awoke to something like my normal consciousness. The guide had noted my absence upon the arrival of the party at the entrance of the cave, and had, from his own intuitive sense of direction, proceeded to make a thorough canvass of the by-passages just ahead of where he had last spoken to me, locating my whereabouts after a quest of about 4 hours. By the time he had related this to me, I, emboldened by this torch and his company, began to reflect upon the strange beast, which I had wounded but a short distance back in the darkness. And suggested that we ascertain, by the rushlight's aid, what manner of creature was my victim. Accordingly, I retraced my steps, this time with the courage born of companionship, to the scene of my terrible experience. Soon we descried a white object upon the floor, an object whiter than even the gleaming limestone itself. Cautiously advancing, we gave vent to simultaneous ejaculation of wonderment, for of all the unnatural monsters either of us had in our lifetimes beheld, this was in surpassing degree the strangest. It appeared to be an anthropoid ape of large proportions, escaped, perhaps, from some itinerant menagerie. Its hair was snow white, a thing due no doubt to the bleaching action of a long existence within the inky confines of the cave, but it was also surprisingly thin, being indeed largely absent save on the head, but it was of such length and abundance that it fell over the shoulders in considerable profusion. The face was turned away from us, as the creature lay almost directly upon it. The inclination of the limbs was very singular, explaining, however, the alternation in their use which I had before noted, whereby the beast used sometimes all four, and on the other occasions but two for its progress. From the tips of the fingers or toes, long narrow claws extended. The hands or feet were not prehensile, a fact that I ascribed to that long resistance in the cave which, as I before mentioned, seemed evident from the all-pervading and almost unearthly whiteness so characteristic of the whole anatomy. No tail seemed to be present. Water. The respiration had now grown very feeble, and the guide had drawn his pistol with the evident intent of dispatching the creature, when a sudden sound emitted by the latter caused the weapon to fall unused. The sound was of a nature difficult to describe. It was not like the normal note of any known species of Simon? How do you pronounce this? Simeon? And I wondered if this unnatural... Simeon. I wonder if this unnatural quality were not the result of a long-continued incomplete silence, broken by the sensations produced by the advent of the light, a thing which the beast could not have seen since his first entrance into the cave. The sound, which I might feebly attempt to classify as a kind of deep-toned chattering, was faintly continued. All at once, a fleeting spasm of energy seemed to pass through the frame of the beast. The paws went through a convulsive motion, and the limbs contracted. With a jerk, the white body rolled over so that its face was turned in our direction. For a moment I was so struck with horror at the eyes thus revealed that I noted nothing else. They were black, those eyes, deep jetty black, in hideous contrast to the snow-white hair and flesh. Like those of other cave denizens, they were deeply sunken in their orbitals, and were entirely destitute of iris. As I looked more closely, I saw that they were set in the face as prognosis, than that of the average ape, and infinitely more hairy. The nose was quite distinct. As we gazed upon the uncanny sight presented to our vision, the thick lips opened and several sounds issued from them, after which the thing relaxed in death. The guide clutched my coat sleeve and trembled so violently that the light shook fitfully, casting weird moving shadows on the walls about us. I made no motion but stood rigidly still, my horrified eyes fixed upon the floor ahead. Then fear left, and wonder, all compassion and reverence succeeded in its place. The sounds uttered by the stricken figure had lay stretched down the limestone, had told us the awesome truth. The creature I had killed, the strange beast of the unfathomed cave, was, or at one time had been, a man. As I heard him pronouncing a couple of words there. Simeon. Yeah. It was in the other story as well. I assumed that it might have been. I tried my best. After about 50 minutes or so, maybe an hour, my head started to go away when reading these. It is monkey. Yeah. And this word. Let's look up a couple of the words. Prognosis. Prognosis? Prognosis.
Prognosis.
Oh, my sound is off.
Prognosis. Prognosis.
So it did. Thanks. The enunciation was a little off, but prognosis. I mean, I know cognating, I guess. Prognosis. Maybe I can remember. I like these. We should read the whole story though. I really wanted to read Alice in Wonderland first, but I should probably make a video for longer stories, right? Or maybe we could do just pure reading streams. Alice in Wonderland is also a lot simpler, levels, so I shouldn't have as many of these blunders. Maybe we could. I don't know. Maybe it should be a video. And I should look for software that has a free trial. Yeah. One that I read has like an 8-hour video limit. I think it fits within that. I think so. Yeah, I wanted to read Alice in Wonderland. And then also Sherlock. There actually aren't that many Sherlock stories. There's one called The Adventures of Sherlock 2, which is like a series of it's a series of short stories, but I want to read a real one because there's much more time to get attached to characters and develop a plot. I mean, short stories are wonderful too, but it's nice when you have time to develop with the characters to, think about them for longer. I think that's why people tend to get much more attached to books and shows than to short stories and movies. Because you live with them too, since you don't usually finish it all at once. Even if you do, it's a lot longer. I guess a lot of people do. Depends. Yeah. A book club. Would you like to do it as in we have like a book club stream, or would you just like to read a chapter randomly on certain days, no matter what we're doing? Do you want a dedicated stream? If we do that, I need to get some tea and honey. And make sure that there's no one else in the house. Well, no stranger. Yep. Instead. So, okay. Well, either is okay, but I just don't know if you would prefer to. No, it's not there. Although I have to say, that was scarier than both of them. The horror shorts we just read. But not there. Okay. Maybe I don't know. Whatever would be more appealing to you is good. I really don't have a preference. So, if you want to do it all at once, or oh yeah. I thought you could only astral project when you're asleep. Have you mastered the conscious astral projection? I've seen those, yeah. Well, I think some are called like 5-sentence horror, 5-second, 10-second horror. I don't know. I think it's much too short to ever be scary though. Because if nothing else, your mind is kind of on how is this person gonna make it scary in 2 sentences, right? The structure's always in mind, and it probably gets in the way of the scariness. I think the media has to fall into the background in order for it to be scary. I guess so. Well, I haven't tried them, so maybe I should. Maybe they really could be scary. No, I gotcha. Oh. Do you mean on stream, or do you mean to read yourself? Is that the only gotcha game you play? Because maybe you could have better luck in other games. Maybe somehow. Maybe one will reward you. Oh, I'm sorry. Or maybe it's a 7 or bust. I think the only gacha I got really into was Destiny Child, because it was mobile, so I could just have my characters play like simulated battles, like just spam those, and the designs were cute. all gacha designs are cute. So do you mean reading yourself, or do you mean if I made recordings? In terms of what's easy for you, Cocker? Something. We could always do. Yeah, I mean chapters could do it. I could always make a video and then just split it up into chapters. Arknights. I remember I thought the playstyle on Arknights was cool. I've also played a bit of Genshin. I move it. Yeah. Where are you? Close mouse, open. Oh, I see. There you go. You can get rid of this. Unless you want to try a 2-sentence horror. Okay. It just Booba. Booba. It's fun to say. Booba. Oh, I've heard of this. I've heard of Wuthering Waves. Let me see. I was gonna say that, oh, for your quest, let me see if we can read us a couple 2-second horrors. I wanna see if they're actually creepy or scary. Window. Honestly, I don't think you're too far from what's going on there. Oh, yes, the Taco Bell one. 5 points off for no capitalization, though. What do they teach these kids? Eating. Let me see if I can find thing. That's my submission, teacher. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no contractions though. No. No, don't take points off. No points, I'll correct it right now. No points off. I did it before the final due date. Being a shit. Oh. Oh. I guess it isn't. Honestly, Sam, I think this is exactly what they would look like. Alright, let's see what the professionals do sentence for. Oh, there's a TV series as well. How do we sort by the top of all time? I don't really use Reddit, so does top do top of all time or? Oh no, it shows it here. All time, okay. Yes, Sam, I think you will get many updates. Yeah, this is exactly what they sound like. Let me open. Where? Okay. Oh, well, you have to work a little harder for the gold. I think you got the silver though. That's kind of cute. I like that one. You can't just walk right into 2-sentence one and expect to steal the gold. This is exactly what they sound like. Do you guys frequent this site? Because all these sound very similar. All my life, my parents had told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobeyed them. What is that glowing ball in the sky? And why does it hurt my eyes? When the kidnapper made me guess where he kept my daughter, I went for the basement, and he said correct, allowing me to see her. When I found her severed hand there, I learned that every other choice would have been correct as well. That one's a thinker. I'm assuming... Yeah, that one's good. As in, he would have put her... He was gonna lead her to no matter what. My first thought was that maybe she means that her soul is everywhere because she's dead. You will get it? Okay. A little practice, it can be bestowed. I don't have an account, but you can pretend. I've been working on stories to complete with the best of them. That's funny. It is funny. Sometimes I don't laugh, but it is funny. That's pretty good. She said last time we're stuck in a time loop, which really pisses me off because that's what... Okay. I like it. Maybe it's horrifying enough. Actually, that reminds me of a subject. The subject of time travel romance. That's actually really horror. would you prefer a double L? And would this win? Oh wait, do you have a streak? A streak though. Framed one. Let me see. I framed the first letter I got as a police officer from a woman thanking me after I'd supported her through her daughter's suicide. I passed in my hallway every day for nearly 8 years before realizing the handwriting was the same as this girl's suicide note. You don't like it? There are many interpretations for that too. Two sentences leave so much up to interpretation. I was thinking that either is cursed and like morphed into the daughter's writing, or the daughter did actually do it and she's the one who contacted him too, and the mom didn't, or it was the mom who actually died. Was the mom who died somehow? That doesn't make sense really, because why would the note be in the handwriting? Maybe she has a thing where she thought she had a daughter but she didn't. She was actually both. I was thinking that too, but I guess so. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Good night. Okay, night. What are your birds' names? Yeah. That seems. Good night, bird. Bird unnamed, bird 1, bird 2, possibly bird 3, I don't know how many there are. Bird 4, just in case. Bird 5, just in case. And bird 6, who's kept in a separate cage because he's a cannibal. Good night. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. A good thing I did the 4 just in case. It would have felt so bad if I'd stopped at 3. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. This one is a mystery as well. Is this real? That doesn't feel like a story. Maybe it doesn't have to be fake. I was born blind, but I was lucky enough to have a loving mother who took care of my every need. Imagine the betrayal I felt when the stitch slipped and a ray of light hit my eye for the first time. Ooh. Yeah, that one's good. Is that just craziness, or is that Munchausen by proxy? Oh, I didn't read them, and I didn't read the names Tiki, Grayson, Sugar, Fatty. Cute names. Sure. Number Cully. Oh, these are nice names. Even have a Halloween costume planned out for one. I haven't read the stories in advance. Let me see. What? I see. It is a hostage thing. Okay, we'll take it away then. Where is it? I never run here either. Window. Now you get my room. my dark room. I don't really use it either, but it comes up for a lot of questions. I've been on it, of course. Paddy. Oh. She could even write after that. Oh. The match pun. Tinder is completely useless and I don't have a single match. If I don't find another way to start a campfire tonight, I'll freeze to death. A humor. Haha, one. Sprinkled in here too. I. A warm bed. There's something more there. Oh no, I don't mind that. I didn't want to. I was finished with them anyway. Outdoor boys, you know. Oh, you got them nuggets too. It's nice. Did you get your show? I keep thinking of Sherlock. Sherbet. Recently, so he's a baby. Or did your adults have a child? Outdoor boys. I'll look it up. Outdoor boys. No. Videos. Is this one of your favorite channels? Let's see, where should you go? Is there anything else? I kinda want to. Let me get a little bit better. I went way for the nose. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. Is that honey butter? Is that your favorite? Sorry. Is that so that they don't mate and so they get along better, and so there's no competition? Maroon. Just kidding. Thank you. Yes, no points marked up. What's your favorite color? Mine is maroon. I'm guessing blue caps is blue, but maybe it's a misdirect. And I don't know. I have no guess for color. Kind of hard to pick favorite though. Oh, I didn't know that. That's good. If there was a female there too, though, do they turn? Because it's part of why, lots of species have the males have things to fight with, like the platypus has the spike, and deers have their horns and horns. They're not called horns. The name has slipped my mind. Antlers. To fight for mates. And others. Brown. I didn't know. Do you I know one so far as I had a brown dark color. You like just about every color though. Many colors, I mean. That's a good thing. I think it fits you all because and you like many things, so like many colors. You never said yours, Clockwork. You must know. You must know everyone's. Yeah. Oh, we have a nice bed here. You got the... I was about to say, that's exactly what I was thinking, is I pretty much like just not neon. Anything that's not neon. Dark colors. Yeah. I think well, when I used to not have proper blinds, I just used I used a bedsheet which is now sun bleached, and it made my whole room red when the sun was setting, because that's where my window faced. So I just have memories of that. Not particularly good ones, but I liked how it looked. Made the whole room red. I hear police sirens. Perhaps after that, Mother. Yeah, just not super bright. Pastels are nice too. Let's think. Alright, so plan for tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Yeah. Well, okay. Not tomorrow, because my brother's friend. Today is Saturday. So, my brother's friend will probably leave. I'm hoping that he'll leave for Monday morning, but I'll probably ask my brother, and then either we'll stream, depending on if we'll stream Monday morning or Tuesday morning. Oh, one fan of neon. It's good. We should have variety here. So, yeah, and then I think we'll play some shorter games, and I'll look at the gacha. To buy the gacha, I need 20 gigabytes of storage, and I don't have that yet. So, I'm gonna buy a flash drive, and I think if I put all my videos and photos onto them, I have 20 gigabytes. So yeah, and then we could play the gacha that I want to play, which is reverse 1999. Alright, that's everything. Thank you for talking to me today and reading with me, listening to me read, and for your stories. Just short of gold stories. Thank you. Sleep well.